Hi, for episode two, this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode due to the fact that I had a friend over helping me record the sessions of working on the car. And during that time, unfortunately, a lot of the recordings that he did were in slow motion feature. So many of those files just weren't usable for this episode. So it's going to be pretty abbreviated. And that's all I can say about it. Sorry for not having a little bit more detail. Okay, so here's the Airrex shock. I'm going to put it in here just like so. It goes right back into this. And this thing's a little bit tough to put in. Just trying to find the space for it to go. Okay, we'll get this nut fed on here. Just like so. Good. It's on there. Let's get this. That's the wrong one. All right, so here we got the front air shock. Got it installed up here. I didn't want to bore you guys with fighting with this bolt to get it in. And so I'm ready to join it here on the bottom arm here. And I've got the knuckle. I've got the knuckle here already attached to it for a little bit, and then gonna just kind of feed it through. So the tricky part here is getting the shins in place while you're doing this. So I have the knuckle here come up, along with putting the bolt in just a little bit. I could squeeze the bottom shock in place here. Let's see, it's a snug fit. You gotta really be, there we go. You get that. There we go. And that's in place. So here the spindle is in place down here, and then all I gotta do is connect the upper spindle to the upper control arm with my shims in place, and that is all there is to it. So get this done, and then I'll do the other side, and then we'll show you how to get the back ones in. Okay, so here for the rear shock. This is on the driver's side rear shock. I'm going to start with the bottom part first. I think that's going to be a little bit easier to install than going from the top down. But I could be wrong. So right here, just, oh boy. There we go. It's a little fiddly, but just like that. Get that in. A couple of taps. And that's that. So the bottom part of the shock is installed. And now, just turn it. So right here, show you what I'm doing up here now. And here, we're just going right up to this bracket right here. I got my bolt ready to go. Line up. It's hard to see. Here we go. Just like that pops in. That's that. So now, that would be the rear shock of the Airrex air ride system. Pretty easy to do, actually. Not too bad. And here's the front suspension all put together. Still don't have all the bolts, tightened in place. I'm sure I'm going to be taking it on and off several more times just to make sure all the fitments are correct. But that's basically it. I painted that spindle red, which, debates on that, but I don't think many people are going to see it anyway. And we'll go back to the back here just so you can see again here. And I painted this knuckle red as well with the air ride suspension. So that's the front and the rear. And I still have here, this side was done. The only part left is to do the, you see here is the only part left is to do the front passenger side. And what I'm waiting for is the spacer that goes behind the bushing on that control arm. So I had to order one, must have lost the other one in the chaos of taking everything down. So as soon as I get that, I'll get that spindle put in, and we'll be ready to rock and roll with the wheels. All right, so here we've got all the suspension in, everything's ready to go. And what I have here is, you can see that the suspension is white. That's because I use this stuff right here. It's not a paint or anything. It will come off, but it is used so that the 3D scanning of whatever you're scanning can come out a little bit better. I guess it reflects. So what I'm going to be doing now here is I'm going to be doing the 3D scanning with this little guy here, and just gotta get that done, and I'm gonna get the scanning started on my laptop that's above here. See, all my cords are connected to it. But from here, all I gotta do is just start scanning around. And doing this, this is going to be for the the company that is providing the wheels and in motors, the motors that are in the wheel hubs themselves. So as I get through with this, scanning around, and on my laptop, as what you can't see above me here up on my fender, is that it's registering all these points, and that white substance, I don't know what you really call it, it's not really a paint or anything, more like a powder, kind of like a baby powder, I would say, but sprayable out of the can. That's reflecting really nicely, and it's registering very, very well. And I've done a few practice runs on this, and it's a little bit tricky to get the hang of, but once you get the hang of it, you kind of know what's going on, and you can see really what you're doing. So that's good right there. I'm going to accept that scan, and then I'll be doing the rear wheel well, because this was the front passenger side. This is the old diaper that goes on the back of the car, which covers up the exhaust and has the exhaust tips coming out. So what I did was covered it with foam. I'm going to put some fiberglass on it and then get some fins on there, and it's going to become a rear diffuser. So I figured I should repurpose that diaper for something a little bit cooler. Thank you for watching episode 2. It has been about 9 days since I've done those 3D scans and sent them to the company that I was planning to use for the wheels and the hub motors. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten back to me at all. I haven't gotten any response from the scans I sent them. I've tried calling them several times. I've sent them several emails, and they're just not responding. So, unfortunately, I'm going to start looking for a different option for powering the car. There are other companies that use this type of technology, I should say, not the exact technology. So I'm going to start reaching out to them, and maybe I can get something done, unless this original company will contact me and let me know what's going on. So that's where we're at for now. And my next step was to get the wheels on the car. Get them, get the wheels made and have the hub motors put on, and get the wheels on the car and set it on the ground and see where the right height, how high the ride height is, and see if I have to make any adjustments. So that's where we're at right now, and all I can do is wait to see what I could come up with next. Thanks.